Yo, 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 what up with everybody? What's going on? What's going on, people? What's up with everybody, man? Hope that everybody cool and everybody good. Tuned in to the Fans Point of View pod. I'm happy that everybody tuning in, man. Share it out. What up? What up, Cliff? Everybody share it out. Share it out. Let's get it going up in here. So, yeah, a couple things we got going. You could have handed me the bag, baby. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, we got a couple of things going on, So I really wanted to talk about today, discussing are college coaches being exposed for the underdevelopment of these players headed into these NFL drafts. All right. This is new to me. It may not be new to some of y'all, but this is new to me. I seen a clip. It was off the Jason Whitlock show, and there was a guy on there from the New York Jets. He actually gave Fernando Mendoza a third or fourth round grade. You know what I'm saying, off his pick. So, but look, y'all know how I like to get up into it. I don't, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna play the clip. The link is in the chat for everybody that's here. Everybody that popped up. You know what I'm saying. Hit the like button. Share it out. Let everybody know we here. We up in here. We about to get it popping. And all that. Let everybody know we here because we gonna be here for a minute. You dig? I got until 10, so we better make it. We better make the best out of it. Got to get up early. No, but look. So let me get this pulled up here because I gotta look for it. It's in my bookmarks, right? I bookmarked the video, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, did he really say that? I'm like, the dude really say that Fernando Mendoza is that? What up, Cliff? What up, Cliff? What up, bro?
What up, bro?
Ain't nothing much, man. What up with you? How you feeling?
Oh, feeling great. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great too, man. You already know.
For sure.
I'm feeling great.
For sure. Let's get into this barbershop talk, bro.
Yeah, for sure. This first clip I got pulled up. I'm about to pull up real quick. Is this video of some dude that was on a Jason Whitlock from the New York Jets. His what's his name? Daniel Kelly. His name is Daniel Kelly, y'all, from the New York Jets. He gave a fourth round grade on the Heisman winner Fernando Mendoza, but he gonna explain why. And then I guess
you don't like the Heisman Trophy winner Fernando,
okay,
the guy that most people have projected at the top of the draft. You have a fourth round grade on Mendoza.
With Mendoza, he's a stiff, rigid, kind of an awkward, systematic quarterback. Everything he does.
I can't play too much of it because we'll get copyright, right?
Right. Yeah.
But he pretty much just put it down right there and said that he's giving him a fourth round grade. I think some of the reasons is on here. I'm gonna skip through the video because if I'm not mistaken, as the video had went on, okay, see. So as you can see, number one, he says works out of the shotgun a majority of the time and is not accustomed to working directly under center. So he's doing that clap. He said because he do the clap cadence. That's a big reason in the shotgun. Going verbal cadence in the NFL is going to be an adjustment for him. Number three, he has played in a heavy pro run pass option system, but he's systematic. In Indiana, that has worked because they have a strong run game. All right. So pretty much if he ain't got a strong run game in the NFL, he's not going to succeed. He can't read defenses that well post snap. He can't read that well post snap. And we've seen him get in some trouble, right? I mean, I don't know if y'all have or not, but Fernando Mendoza under pressure don't look that well. He just don't look that good. And this is supposed to be one of the guys who, he's in the national championship. This is crazy. And it arose the question to me and brought up the question, are these college coaches they're not developing their talent? And I think the NFL is starting to see that. I think that's why you're not going to see a lot of people reaching for those first round picks no more. I don't think that's going to happen. But Cliff, you go ahead and you give me your take. What you think about that, Cliff?
I agree with you. I don't think that they're developing, I'm going to say, certain key positions for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest glare is quarterback.
Right.
A little bit with receivers. I'm noticing more receivers are more raw It's taking them more time to run their routes crisper. Maybe it's because of what football in general has went to. I don't agree with his assessment as far as shotgun because we know that's basically all colleges. If he goes to the right place, one thing I agree with the man on is I think Mendoza needs to go to a stable system.
Okay.
Meaning this, and if people don't understand what I'm talking about, I'm going to use Chicago as an example.
Right.
Caleb Williams has a stable system with Ben Johnson. If you notice, if you really pay attention,
he do.
Caleb Williams is under center more than he's probably ever been in his career. There are games where I've done a percentage. He's been under center over 60% of the time instead of in shotgun. So I think that's what some coaches need to get back to. I don't know where this thought came from as far as shotgun helps read the defense better. But before then, that wasn't the case. I don't know why it would change now.
Right. All right. But look, I like what you said. My thing is, why aren't these? And we had this discussion before, but I don't know where it went before, right? I don't kind of know where it went, and we kind of talked about it, but it's like there's never really clarity to that. Are college coaches responsible for developing their quarterback or their guys? Like, if you got a quarterback coach in college, I would assume that quarterback coach is supposed to have a quarterback ready to read a cover 2, a cover 3, quarters, whatever. You know what I'm saying? To identify what's going on, to know where his guys are at on the field, right?
Right.
And I think, and I don't understand why they're not prepared. Why they're not prepared for that? Why don't these quarterbacks know where to go, what to do, how to do it, and under pressure? I'm not going to lie. Under pressure, he folded. Did you see the first half of the Alabama game against Indiana? Did you see that game? I'm sure everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
Pressure was coming to him, got to him so quick. It just, and that wasn't the only game. I've seen games where he's had trouble under pressure. And in the NFL, you only getting 2.53 seconds in the pocket. That can't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that cannot happen in the NFL and for the next level. But to prepare his clock, I don't know. That's something that he has to work on personally. I don't know about all the other stuff that he sees. That's his breakdown. I guess he does this, you know what I'm saying? And which why, Jason Whitlock kind of got the face on, like, what is you talking about, bro? Like Fernando Mendoza, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I guess everybody got something crazy to say, but let me get back to where I was going with this. The college coaches are not developing a quarterback, and the NFL GMs now, and the GMs in the NFL, the scouts, they're noticing that, and they're not jumping at these guys the way that they used to. So all we heard last year was, this next quarterback class is going to be the best quarterback class. It's going to be way better. If you just need to wait for a quarterback, then you just go ahead and wait. You're going to get one next year. Now we're hearing something totally different, to the point where you got guys that's going into the draft that I didn't even think was going into the draft. I thought Ty Simpson had another year. Did you? Did anybody else out there know that Ty Simpson was supposed to come out this year? I didn't. I was under the assumption that Ty Simpson was going to play another year in college football.
I thought he had another year. I thought he had to either make a decision whether he wanted to come back or not, because I've heard that he has been offered still in college some money. So right. I think he does have one more year. But to touch on what you're saying, Trucking, I've listened to a lot of NFL players. I've talked to some, even a few that have played the quarterback position. And what they're noticing in college is they're dumbing the position down to a certain extent. And what I mean by that, if people don't understand, there's the first read and possibly the second read.
Okay.
and then it's parking lot from there on out.
Okay.
Another thing is footwork. When you're in shotgun, there's not much footwork. There's no more 3-step drops. There's no more 5-step drops. There's no more 7-step drops. See, 3-step drops was abled quarterbacks to identify coverage, go to a 3-step drop, and throw a quick, let's say, 5-yard out.
Okay.
Shotgun, you're not able to do that. Cornerback picks up on it. He's jumping around.
Okay. I get where you're going with that. What's up, Bishop? What's up? How you feel, Bishop?
What's good? What's shaking?
Ain't
I
nothing.
see y'all throwing out some straight gumbo fire. I
Yes,
just
sir.
thought I would pull up and see how I can get in where I fit in.
I
Yes,
hear
sir,
that.
Coach Bishop. Yes, sir.
So where you at with that? Where you at with these college quarterbacks being developed, Bishop? Or how you feeling with that? Where you at on that?
The truth of the matter is y'all are nailing it. The simple fact is you're right. They're dumbing it down more than anything. They're letting them get away with not having the proper technique, footwork. They're not helping them to be able to be ready for the NFL. But the RPO game has been the root cause of it, because with it, I can read 1 or 2. Then after that, it's up on me what I can see. But still, here's where the accountability lacks. The coaches, or the quarterback coaches or offensive coordinators, are not holding their feet to the fire. They're allowing it. And not, in fact, they have drills where it's all about getting the ball out quick and not having to read, or seeing one thing and go with it. Well, what happened, my experience with OU in that game, the quarterback got baited. Bama showed 0 blitz. But if you will have looked on the other side was in a 2-tech, meaning that they was going to have 2 safeties. So that tells you they're sitting back in zone. They're just wanting you to show, because they have learned through watching your tapes that you have a tendency, once you see that look, this is where you're going to go throw. And true to form, because you were never held to the fire, what happened? He threw there, and what no color jersey for us there but Bama.
Right.
That type of stuff comes with coaching, being able to hold them accountable and say, read the entire field. But see, in some instance, they just want them to do 1, 2 read. And then by that time, if the play break down, just find the best option. But what happens is, if you don't read that zone and you read cover 0, now what you're doing, I done cut off the backside of the field.
Yeah.
And what happened on that play, the backside wide receiver was wide open. But because of my preconception read, and that I was in this is our rule of thumb, and I don't know how to make an adjustment, I gave them the tendency to, I gave them the answers to the final exam, and they answered. And it looked like we were just trying to throw it straight to them, when actuality, no, they baited you because they knew when you see that, your rule of thumb, because each game you kept showing the same thing. When you got to the playoffs, the rule of thumb is, okay, when they see 0, this is what he does. Let's show 0 and back out and go back in the zone.
Wow. Bishop Cookie coming here with that gumbo.
And I wanna piggyback off Bishop also.
Right.
If you notice these young quarterbacks in the NFL, they're always missing what's open on the backside. So basically what they're doing is they're cutting half the field off themselves. I don't know how many times Caleb Williams has missed a wide open, hasn't even seen them on the backside wide open. And what defenses are doing, we're thinking defenses
where they manipulate the offense.
My fault. Go ahead, finish.
We think defenses are becoming more complex, which they've learned how to disguise a little bit better. But what defenses are realizing is we can leave somebody open on the backside because you're not going to even look that way, or you don't have any tendency that no one is even over there and open.
See, that's exactly what's just happening. What you just explained, which is crazy. I had a play queued up for that. I don't know how. I don't know. I had a play queued up for exactly what I was like, kind of what you were saying. So I guess the backside, meaning like, so Indiana has their whole front right here. Can y'all see what's going on the screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got this.
You see Bishop?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So I guess they got their guys, over towards the right side of the left side of the offensive line. And it's going to forcing C74 Caden Proctor pointing out because he got out. You know what I'm saying? There's a guy that's over here. He's pointing out. So they're going to slide left. And then it's going to cause the one-on-one with the guard that's next to the center, the right guard and the right tackle, and one-on-one with these guys. I don't know if y'all can really see my highlight green. And they're going to send the pressure coming this way. Indiana's been doing this all season. I think, watch. And then he just drops into coverage. The linebacker dropping coverage. He forces the ball to go right because he thinks the blitz is coming left. He's going to try to go right with the ball, and he's circling the play. So I don't want to spit it out because that's exactly what's going on. Boom. Watch. So those guys there, you see those guys. There's an extra guy on the outside. The center, he's going to take 4. That's what they doing. They sliding the coverage, and they forcing a one-on-one, right? Right, Bishop? Correct with that?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
okay.
You nail it. You nail it. I'll let you know when I need to jump in. You're good.
All right, and then the backside guy, he's gonna come. So you see that now the motion comes. They bring in the pressure from the left side. You see they're dropping in coverage now.
But
confusing the quarterback Ty Simpson.
Yeah,
a lot of college quarterbacks is going through that. A lot of college quarterbacks is going through the same thing, and they do not know. He panics. Boom. Free man coming because they sent the nickel in the corner on a blitz. Dropped the linebacker in coverage. He throws right to that side because he thought he had it open. Short bad pass. Boom. And they be getting picks like that. They've been doing it to people they do it to people all the time. Now look, they showing what? 6 up front. So now everybody just has to, go straight back. They just pinch. Or that's what they call it, right? I don't know what the call is. Everybody got different calls, but then they go back in coverage. They've gotten interceptions like this all season long. Indiana has, yo.
Because they're trying to bait people. They're trying to bait people to think that they're coming. But see, here's where they are. Nettie and them are film junkies. They are film junkies. And when they get your tendencies, they make you make mistakes because they know you won't watch as much film as they will.
Yeah.
And see, this is another thing. Your receivers have to be film junkies too. Not only your quarterback, because your receivers have to identify. Is it man or zone?
And they don't know.
If they identify ahead of time that is zone, they need to know where they have to sit down in the whole of the zone.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to readjust your route. So late, if you coming off the ball and then it's zone, your brain has to go, okay, this is zone. I got to sit down. I got to break this route off. And your quarterback has to identify that and says, okay, he has to break this route off there in zone. So I got to find that hole because it's always a hole either on maybe in the middle, but majority of the time on your left or on your right side where the holes are in zones.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that goes back to what you were saying, Trucking, about the maturation process of these coaches teaching these kids.
Right. That's where I was going with it. They don't know. Almost every college quarterback struggles with what we're talking about. And it's a shame because and I thought better. I doubt if Fernando Mendoza doesn't understand this. I would seriously doubt that, seeing that how well coached Indiana is. You know what I'm saying? So I had a hard time believing that. That's why I had to bring that up first, because they all they do is break down film. That's all they do. They exact what Bishop said is exactly what they do. They take what you do good away. They make you do the bad things, and that's how you have to beat them.
Yeah, and check this. I'm gonna give y'all next level game. Check this out. They ran it 51 times. And then their boy Mendoza was 14 of 16 for 172 yards, but 4 touchdowns.
Yes.
Do you see the difference? They have made you, they told you, we're coming at your heart. We're coming at you. We're closing the phone booth door, and you're going to have to run through us to get out of here. And what they did is they kept running the ball at them, kept running the ball. And when they knew that they were focusing on the run, all of a sudden they were throwing a little bit of passing. And what was doing, it was gashing them, because they had them thinking. Anytime you get a defense to think, you win.
Yep. Instead of just reacting. You're right, Bishop. Yep.
So that's a good segue. So what's your thoughts on the national championship? I don't think we got to talk about the last time we was up on the panel, Bishop. What's your thoughts on the national championship? How you feeling?
All right, here's what I do. What I feel is that you have Indiana University, that they're one of those type that got real comfortable throughout the year playing in a phone booth. But once I looked at their film, what they do is that they stick to the fundamentals, because Stanetti has been with Saban and realized when you get to the playoffs, everybody got so much film on you, you have to go back to the fundamentals. So what they do, they make you play the game old school.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they establish, they're coming old school, then they flutter in their passing. And then it's pinpoint passing. It's not just odds and ends, but their guy, Mendoza, is able to sit back and pay attention to what's going on, what defense, and be able to have enough time to throw it, because the run has been established. So you're not getting a pass rush. So therefore, now all of a sudden you're on your heels. And that's when big plays happen.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So who you ride? Who you going with? With?
Here's the thing. Miami is that young man's game, and they got the same little thing over there as well. So here's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go 31-21 Miami.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Because I watched the film. Here's the only thing with Miami. Miami gets it out the mud.
Yeah.
They gets out the mud. Not only that, they wouldn't even be in the playoffs if they didn't fight for it.
That's a fact.
That's true.
If they didn't fight for it, they would not even be being spoke about. But what they did with their moment, they maximize it. And each time they're doubted, they maximize. Each time they doubt it, they maximize again. And now they're coming against somebody that's been putting in work against top teams. But the key is understand they gone through so many fire tests. They're more tested because they can win whatever type of way you need to. And not only that, they're hungry. Yeah. Miami hasn't won in a long time, and they're putting on for the city, and they at home.
Yeah, they are.
And not only that, wait a minute, they like to run the ball too. So guess what, Indiana, you about to be put in a blender just like you put other people in the blender. Let's find out. I just feel like there's some holes in your deal when things break down, that I was just wondering if the Heisman winner is truly him. We'll find out.
I don't like if they can continue. They can't let teams just hang around how they normally do, though.
Yeah.
Miami cannot let teams. They cannot let Indiana hang around. This is a team they can't play with. When they get Indiana down, they have to capitalize off of that one pick that they gonna get off Fernando Mendoza. We know he's good for one of those a game, right?
Yeah.
That got to be capitalized off of the short field position. You got to get points off your field goals. You can't let that team hang around. If you hang around with Indiana, something bad gonna happen. But I do think that Miami can beat them.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't play with them. You can't play with Indiana. You just can't.
And you know what, Cliff knows as much as I do. Those who get in the playoffs, it's all about, do you trust your system? Are you all the way bought in?
Yeah.
If you're all the way bought in, Miami has won close. They won going away. Whatever it takes, they've been willing to do whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom line is, this is one game that they're at home, but more than anything, they have been established on defense, and now it's up on their offenses stay finely tuned, which they've been showing they can. And so it just makes for a major, major fight that we're all going to tune into. And I'm telling you now, just because someone has been beating the brakes off of people, that means they watch enough film to break them down, that their tendencies, they never corrected. What happens if you have somebody that can make adjustments to their tendencies?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's going to be the key to the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Exactly. When they get punched, when they get punched in the ring, you know what I'm saying? If they get buzzed off that punch, is they gonna be able to regain? You know, back underneath them. You know. Yep.
Yeah. My take on this game is, to me, they're, like Bishop said, they're kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
As far as their play, I would give Mendoza a slight edge over Beck. But I think it's going to come down to these two factors: mistakes and turnovers.
Yeah. Look, y'all know I talked about possibly everything there can be to talk about this game, and I do think that, you know, I just because the fact that Miami's at home, right? It's going to be hard for them to. How hard is it going to be to keep all that passion, all that excitement at a level to where you're still laser focused at home playing in the national championship? You know what I mean? Like that gotta be different. And they have been penalty prone, and it just seems like whatever your weaknesses is, Kurt Signetti has his team prepared to beat you that way. It just seems like that. And I know that Miami can play a clean, get hard fought game, because I seen them do it in the Cotton. It was the Cotton Bowl with Ohio State or whatever it was. Yeah. So I seen them do it against Ohio State, a 0 penalty game, and Ohio State is physical, very physical. They almost tied or beat Indiana. So I know Miami can play that kind of game, and if they play that disciplined game, that's all I've been saying, and all year long. I mean, look, even the other day, I kind of went through, even when they beat Florida State University, go back and just look at their schedule and look at the team stats. Look at the time of possession Miami has the ball, their penalties. Even in their wins, they've been penalized, giving up a stupid amount of yards off of penalties. And that part of the game they have fixed in the playoffs. I will say that. And I don't want to say that's why they're winning, but that's why they look so how could I say this, militant or uniformed, or however you want to put that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why they've been looking so crisp, because their penalties has been down besides that Ole Miss game, and they kind of let them hang around, and that, you know, with some dumb stuff that went on in there. But that just, I hope they keep that to a minimum in this game. If they can keep that to a minimum, they will be carrying a national championship trophy off home off in their home field. They will win that game if they can keep it, a low penalized, disciplined football game and just go out there and mash the gas on them. They got the talent, they got the size. And look, as far as Carson Beck go, he understands that he's not going to change the game with his play. He looks like he's been playing like, I'm just here to not mess up the ball game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and as long as he looks like it plays like he understands that, Miami got a shot. They do. Yeah. They really do.
Another thing that I think Bishop really touched on that I'm really looking forward to is the adjustments. We know from the last game, Indiana against Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
After that first drive, Oregon wasn't able to do too much offensively. Indiana made the adjustments.
Okay.
Indiana has been showing all year that they can make adjustments either defensively or offensively.
True.
Now, Miami has to prove that they can counter that.
They do.
And that they're also able to make the adjustments when need be. If something is taken away, can you bring something else out your tool bag that you know you have?
Right. All right.
You know,
all right.
And those are the three things. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, look, now I'm gonna segue to this one. Now I'm on to this one. Like, now we all know that Colorado. Yeah, I'm on Colorado right now. I like talking about Colorado. I like it. I love it. So Colorado's new coach, Brandon Marion, whatever his name is, Marion, you know what I'm saying? I know you from around the way. The go-go offense. They had, everybody was talking about how that's going to revitalize. I like the players they're bringing in. It looks like they're bringing in some production and they're getting it for cheaper. And they're trying to build, like, obviously it doesn't, some of these guys got some years of eligibility left. We don't know how this is going to turn out. But there was one thing I wanted to point out to people, that's all the Colorado fans, right? So Colorado fans and all that, and to put this out there is that I paid attention. I look at all football teams. I do, even when the ones I'm not supposed to be looking at. I love this college football thing. It's exciting. I love to do this. So I do my homework and I look at teams, and I told y'all, I didn't know the exact number, but I got the exact number. This is the exact number that Sacramento State had of FBS players and FCS players on the roster. Now, in 2024, Sacramento State, this is before he got there and became the head coach. Last year, he was the head coach. They were 3-9 in 2024. Last year, they won 4 more games than they did the previous year in the Big Sky. They had the most out of all of the FCS teams out of all of them. North Dakota State, all of them. HBCU, Sacramento State had 34 FBS players on their roster. 34. And he had 8 FCS players. Where am I getting at with this? People like, yeah, all right, trucking, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he won only 4 more games. Did not win the Big Sky with all over talented teams. He had too much, way more talent than the other teams did in the Big Sky. And only won 4 more games with Sacramento State there. Now, I'm not saying that this guy is going to go to Colorado and hit a home run. That's why I feel like 5 games is a fair thing to say moving up into the FBS in a power conference, the Big 12. I feel like that's a fair amount of games because I seen what Sacramento State did last year and who they had. So I'm not bought all the way in on saying that they're going to just go in the Big 12 and whoop everybody out because they got a new go-go offense. No, because they had the go-go offense. It worked at UNLV to a charm. It did. But he was the coordinator. It worked there. Now, did it work last year in the Big Sky? with 34 FBS players? It didn't. He had players from everywhere. Y'all can go look at the transfer portal. You don't want to take my word, but the numbers is right here. The numbers is right here.
You know, Trucking, I looked at the film from the go-go offense, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what type of quarterback he had before he came to Colorado, but I saw it while he was at UNLV. What made that so successful is he had a quarterback that you really had to account for.
Right.
Juju is not that type of quarterback. Juju is never been in an option system. I don't believe. I don't even think in high school. So with that being said,
yeah,
that's one portion of the offense that has to be kind of shunned away from. It's basically an overloaded offense to either the left or the right.
Yeah.
And like I said, the quarterback that was at UNLV, he was a running quarterback. So that made the defense have to account for him also when they were running those options in their running game.
Yeah. Because that's what it kind of looks like. It's like
Right.
some people might, it looks like the run pass option. It looks like a RPO system. That's what it is, a RPO system. You know what I mean?
Right, but the nuance to it is they run option left or right out of it.
There you go. There you go.
And I don't think Juju is a option quarterback. Now, I'm just spitballing here.
Right.
Maybe in that he confuses the defense with more play action off that.
Right.
With more elaborate fakes in the backfield to kind of freeze linebackers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're facing a strong pass rush, to slow the pass rush down a little bit, make sure players don't get up the field as fast.
Okay.
But when I looked at it and I checked it out, I'm like, Juju is not an option quarterback. So that part of it, how are they going to really run that to make the whole thing work? I don't know.
Yeah, and see, that's just another thing. See, I didn't even get that far to even say that because you took the words out of my. You go ahead and you spit it out, but he can run. He's mobile enough to run. I don't know if they want to run him as much though, seeing that he didn't get that much, had that much callus. The dude ain't that big,
right?
You know what I mean? I don't know if you wanna run him that much. This is the system they should have had for Caden Salter.
Right, exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth, bro. Yes.
This is a perfect system for Caden Salter to be running, not Juju. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, and it's his first year in a power. This is first year in a power conference. Yeah, he spent time in the NFL as a position coach and all that stuff. Yeah, we know that. But in the college football, it's hard to win. They scheme up and take things away from you. They've seen this go-go offense enough to be able to shut this go-go offense down. If I'm telling you right now, if the coaches in the Big Sky, now the Big Sky is, if you don't know, that's a conference in the FCS. Okay, if them coaches over there can scheme up and stop them and hold them to a 7-5 record with 34 FBS players, the talent was unmatched on that football team. That's all I'm trying to tell y'all. And they could not win that division. Now, granted, it's the Big Sky ain't no joke, right? So, just to be fair, I'll pull up the Big Sky so we can look at the Big Sky Conference, just so we can look at it and see what teams is in there. Because just to be fair, so y'all can see it, because they do got some balling teams in there. But still, how do you not? It's ridiculous to not win that conference flat outright like that with all the talent you had. So
Yeah.
yes, do I think, and this supports what I was saying, do I think that 5 wins is an improvement? I do, especially for the guy that's coming in and whatever else they bring it in. I do. I think, you know what I mean? If you say 6 a bowl game, okay. And then it's crazy because then I have to ask the person that says 6 games, do you even believe that bowl games are legit? Like I do. I rocks with bowl games. So for me to say 6 to get to a bowl, that means something. But for somebody else to say 6 and they like bowl games don't matter, then why can't it be 5 wins? You know what I'm saying? You get where I'm going with that, Cliff? Does that make sense, or am I going off the rails here? Like
No, I got what you're saying. I got the gist of what you're saying, bro. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, like I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do, and I don't want to put too much pressure on them now. Granted, so they did have the FCS champion in that division, right? They did. I'm not gonna lie. So they had, because Montana State won the FCS championship. Montana was no joke neither. UC Davis, Sacramento State came in 4th in that division, but they had 34 FBS players. 34. Now, Montana and Montana State, I don't know where I think they were somewhere down on this list. I think they had now I just wanted to show y'all. That's the conference they in. Now I want to show y'all where they were at with their FCS players. So Montana had what did they say? 15. So they had 15 FBS players. That's 6 FCS. Okay, they had 15 of them. Montana State beat both of them. Well, all them FBS players. So, bro, I shouldn't have to say too much more with that. So all I'm trying to say is, in closing out on this, so I don't keep beating a dead horse with this conversation or whatever, is that I think that we should be able to give them time, respect what they're doing right now, because they're bringing in production, but don't put a 8-win season in front of that. Don't say 6 games. I think 5 is good. That's me though. If you say 6, that's one more. I'm cool with that. I can rock with that. But let's not go 8 games. Let's not talk these 8-9 win games, because that's probably not going to happen, folks. I mean, even with the coach who's running that, they're stopping it. You got FCS level talent stopping this offense. It's not as innovative as it was years ago at UNLV. They picked up on it. They know how to scheme it. They know how to stop it. And you got a quarterback that's going to be in his second year who is not a dual. And he's not. I don't even know if he's labeled a dual threat or not. So I don't want to say he's not a dual threat, but we know he can pass the ball. But he does not. He's athletic enough to run, but I don't think he's labeled as a dual threat. Don't have the size for it to do it anyway. So we could kill a lot of that noise with that. Now, that's all I had to say with that. Now, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I was at with that, Cliff. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Oh, Law Dog up in here. Law Dog, the dog. What up, dog? What up? What up, man? What up, Law Dog? You up in here, bro? I just seen you, bro. What up, Anthony? What up? What's going on? He said, so do you think Matt Patricia is an outlier when it comes to coordinators from the NFL translating to college, and you don't think OC from the pros can translate that well? I'm not saying that, Anthony. I wish you would come up, because then I know exactly. Law Dog, you on stage, bro. If you can hear me, we can't hear you. You're not coming through. I'm not saying that you don't translate, that they can't translate, Anthony. What I'm saying is that guys are not developing guys. They're not developing them in college. And I think it's being exposed. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Anthony? What's going on?
What up? Oh, yeah, no. Well, yeah. For me, I think, in my honest opinion, a guy like Matt Patricia being successful as he has this year is a outlier, because like a Chip Kelly it was successful with Ohio State because he had previous experience in college already.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Matt Patricia, I think, is going to be one of these coordinators that is going to be successful because of the. I think it's more to do with the scheme than the talent that he was teaching. Because the Bill Belichick scheme is pretty. Like a lot of defensive players say, it wasn't that hard to understand. Like, what's his name? The Rodney Harrison actually said it like he picked the scheme up fairly easily as a rookie and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Okay.
so I think defensive schemes are easier to translate than offensive schemes. Am I off for saying that, guys?
No, I don't think so. I think you might be. I think you might be on that. You know what I'm saying? Because they are. I mean, it just is. You know, that's why some guys go over the defense. You know what I'm saying? Because defense now, it can be hard when you're playing a certain position, middle linebacker,
Corner.
to try to corner or middle linebacker.
Because
you know
of
what I'm
lack of
saying?
physicality, you can't
Right.
you can't bump and run anymore like you used to.
Right.
Like, and that's another question for you guys. Do you think football is a reciprocal game where you're going to see eventually it go back to being able to, like, where it's going to be even, where you can actually guard your DB can actually play defense instead of being like scared to hit a receiver because he's gonna get hit with a targeting penalty or PI and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be like that. Go ahead, Cliff. Go ahead. You can answer some, Cliff.
I think they have made so much credence to player safety, but we all know that it's contradictory. You talk about player safety, but you're adding more games.
Yes,
You
I think the player safety came from a good place, but
Right.
they implemented it the wrong way.
The wrong way. Exactly. Yes. I think what you're possibly going to start seeing, and we could go back to some possibly different rules as far as tackling goes, is with this low tackling, you're going to see a lot of leg injuries. But even now, you're seeing a lot of lower body tissue injuries.
A lot of hamstrings and stuff like that.
Right. Hamstrings, you're seeing the ACLs, the MCLs, the Achilles, and some of this can come from the hits that they're taking on their lower bodies.
Which is the oddest thing. Like, you see a lot, like, there has to, and for me, the targeting rule has to be eliminated because, let's be honest, it's that type of penalty is a heat of the moment thing. You guys agree with me? Because what do you expect a defensive player to do when they're running full speed? How do you expect them to adjust in their head to slow down and stuff like that during a game?
You can't expect that. You can't expect that to happen. It's football. I blame, you know what? I blame that on Ray Lewis, man. That's Ray Lewis's fault, man. I blame that on Ray Lewis, dog.
Wait! Don't blame a hurricane for that. Don't blame a hurricane for that.
Ray Lewis for that, dog. If Ray Lewis ain't never hit Tom Brady the way he did,
the hurricane you should be blaming is the safety.
Would not be here the way it is right now if Ray Lewis never hit Tom Brady like that.
Truckin'?
Huh?
You're muted.
Oh, I'm muted. Oh, hold on.
I hear you now. I hear you, Truckin'.
I blame it on Ray Lewis. It's Ray Lewis's fault, man. Ray Lewis hit that quarter. He hit Tom Brady so hard, the NFL changed the rules. Law Dog, come back up. I didn't know you was up. I was on the other page. When I can't see y'all when I'm working the other pages, I can't see I don't see the chat, none of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the board. You know what I'm saying? I'm producing and trying to shoot at the same time. But yeah, it's Ray Lewis's fault. If he never hit Tom Brady the way he hit Tom Brady, football would not be where it's at right now, bro. I strongly believe that.
You know,
Chubby. Before
Tom Brady got a couple of rules changed. It was the tuck rule first, and then that.
and you're blaming the wrong Hurricane for all these player safety rules. It's Sean Taylor. You should be. You see how many players he knocked out during college in the NFL.
Yeah. Sean Taylor was sticking. Sean Taylor's that dude. He is. Hey, yo, Anthony, he is. He's that dude. I'm not going to lie. That is the guy. You know what I mean? Sean Taylor, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? And all that.
Yeah. No.
Right.
No. What I'm saying, the player safety rules came about because of Sean Taylor, I believe, because the way he knocked out people multiple times.
But that's how football is supposed to be played.
It is.
But Sean, even Sean himself, he says it's not his fault the receiver lowered his head.
Right.
That's the truth. That is the truth. That's a fact. And I mean, like, I don't know though. We both maybe like Sean Taylor hitting people is the reason why they had the defense that he brought in the defenseless receiver rule. We'll agree to that, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then Ray Lewis, it's Ray Lewis's fault because we got the quarterback rule. Right?
Did he injure poor little precious pretty boy Tom Brady or something?
No, he just smacked him. I can't. Hey, Anthony, I don't know if I got that. If I could pull that clip up.
No. You know who I thought it was that quarterback rule came from? Haloti Ngata. Haloti.
Oh,
that big Samoan that would like land on people.
Yeah, for Baltimore, I know all about him. He's in my division. But like Ray Lewis smacked Tom Brady. I mean, he lit Tom Brady up. Like,
for me, I felt the quarterback protection rules came from not from Brady, but from Manning, Peyton.
He lit Tom Brady up, and I don't think football ever been the same since then, man. I don't think Tom Brady even said he was scared of that. He said he was scared of that dude.
And I feel that people, when you were talking about the talent that they face in the FCS, most of those are guys who went to the FCS to begin with, but they weren't getting playing time enough. And so they were good players, but they couldn't get playing time because the coaches continued recruiting better players and stuff like that. So I think these are and I think that when you look at the difficulty of the FCS playoffs, it's not as easy as people think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, because Montana State was undefeated the whole regular season and stuff like that. And they do double elimination and stuff like that in their playoff system. So Montana, by the time Montana State finished winning the championship, they had 2 losses because they lost what is it called? Once in the what is it called? Once in the first round.
Oh, the first round.
In the loser, they won in the losers bracket, but they lost in the FCS national championship game and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
they good.
Yeah, but I understand what you guys are saying, that the FCS is different. It's the FBS is completely different. But when you actually look at it, most of these kids that you see in the FCS are guys who were in the FBS originally that couldn't get playing time because the coaches kept on adding more depth at their position, and they were constantly getting pushed down in the depth chart.
Where Law Dog go? He left again? I thought he was coming up. No, Anthony. So what I was saying that because Colorado got the new head, they got a new coach. What is it, Brennan Marion? The guy who got the go-go offense, and he ran it up at UNLV. He ran the go-go offense over at UNLV first, and then he went and he was the head coach at Sacramento State. Sacramento State is in the Big Sky. They're in the conference with Montana State and Montana and all of that. And what I was trying to point out is that I just, I don't know if he's at Colorado now, okay? The Brennan Moore, the ex-head coach of Sacramento State. And
Wait, he's the head coach or the OC?
He's the OC. I mean, right. He's the OC at Colorado. He was the head coach at State last season. Okay.
No, and this is where I disagree with you, Chubby, a little bit. I think that type
Okay.
of offense is a perfect, like, outside of, let's be honest, outside of Utah and BYU, what else? What other team? And Texas Tech.
Right.
What other teams play defense in the Big 12?
I ain't talking about the defense. I'm not even talking about the
Oh
scheme that he's running.
In general, like, are you worried that it's not going to translate?
No, I'm not worried that it's not going to translate. I just don't think he's going to get 8 wins this year at Colorado, being the offensive coordinator with that offense. He couldn't get 8. He couldn't get 8 wins in the Big Sky with 34 FBS players. They had Sacramento State had the most. They had the most FBS players in the FCS period.
But you brought up that they were in the toughest conference in the FCS. So can that explain them not getting enough wins?
But you're way over talented. You have so much more talent than everybody else in the conference. And you could at least came in second. They couldn't do that. And with this offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got 34 players. The next, I think Montana had 15 or something.
But this is where I want to push. And this is where I want to push back. Just because you have more FBS talent doesn't mean maybe the Montana State and the other teams on top of them were better coached throughout the season and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I've seen times where that Montana State stalled their offense out because of their defense being so great and stuff like that.
There you go. So that's my point, Anthony. You're making my point even more. The fact that he was able to get out schemed in the Big Sky. Like, so I think the same thing can happen in the Big 12. I think it's a fair, like, I don't think it's.
Let's give him a chance. Let's give him a chance because maybe.
I think 5 wins is fair. I mean, that is a fair chance for his first year being in the FBS and a win in 5 games. I think that's fair. I don't think if he wins more than 5 games, that's great. But I think
because you need a certain type of quarterback to run that offense.
We talked about that too. You know what I mean? And is Juju Lewis that quarterback to run that offense? Is he that quarterback though?
I like Juju, but Juju kind of reminds me of Julian Sand. He's not very he can run out outside of the pocket, but it's more to extend plays within the tackle
block.
Yeah, the mobility he has is like, I've been saying this. Guys like Julian Sand and Juju, their mobility and Carson Beck are not going to give you like 14, 15 yards. They're going to give you 8 yards. They're like an Aaron Rodgers mobility, where Aaron is not going to give you 10, 15 yards. He's going to give you enough to get close to the marker, but it's not going to get over the marker and stuff like that. They're not running quarterbacks.
So how many games you think Colorado going to win? Anthony, what you got them winning?
I think you guys go 8 and maybe 9-3.
Damn, Anthony. Damn, Anthony. Damn, that's not fair. 9 games ain't fair. You're giving them a real shot. You like the underdog story. I don't think that's fair. See, that's where I push back with you, Anthony. 9 wins. He couldn't get 9 wins in the Big Sky. What makes people think he's going to get 9 wins in the Big 12? The Big 12 ain't no pushover neither.
Yeah, no, but I'm not focusing on the coordinator. I'm focusing on the head coach specifically.
Prime the Mac to you. Oh, he didn't got in your ear, Anthony. Okay, I see that. Okay.
No, Prime hasn't got into my ear. Is what I'm trying to say is, when it comes to the success of a team, I don't focus on the coordinators as much as the head coach. If the head coach can adjust how he coaches instead of wanting to control everything, I want to see if Dion this year can learn what Mario learned this year, where he steps back and not micromanages everything to the point where even what's it called? NFL coordinators leave because they don't want to deal with the micromanagement and stuff like that.
Right.
So I want to see if Dion is able to put his ego aside and let the coordinators cook and stuff like that. But do you guys trust Dion to do that? Is the question.
I don't know, because his philosophy so far, even with the two the coordinators that he's shown us. I mean, look, I only can speak off what people show us, what their actions, and what he showed us so far is that no matter the offensive coordinator that he has there, he's going to go off of his philosophy, which is air raid esque. I can't even call, you know what I mean, air raid esque, you know. And because they only ran the ball last year 771 times total, so I can't really.
Were they low? Were they the lowest? Like in the FBS, were they one of the lowest running teams in the FBS?
I think they one of the lowest in college. Yeah, for sure, Anthony. Because that's only probably like, if you was to look that up, Anthony, I think it was probably only like 60 something more than Hawaii, and we know Hawaii for sure runs an air raid, right? So. Yeah. That's, you know,
and I think honestly, in general, the air raid offense is not conducive to having a great running game in general.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, but a lot of people push back because Shannon Dawson runs the same air raid offense.
The dog is up here. Law Dog, is you with us or you out? What's up, Law Dog? Is you with us?
Hey, Law Dog.
Is Law Dog here? He keep coming up, but he ain't. You muted, bro. And I can't unmute your mic, Law Dog. You muted, but you on stage, man. What's up, Law Dog? Holla at us. Holla at us, Law.
Maybe he's in an area where the connection is not great.
Yeah, maybe
he's talking. Maybe he's talking, and it's just that the connection is not that great. And stuff like that.
He said now wins. Motivated Dedicated said now wins is absurd. He said it's absurd. What's up, Motivated?
I'm having way too much faith in Dion to let his ego go and be more of a more of a CEO than trying to micromanage everything.
He's not going. His philosophy is his philosophy. He's going to run what he wants to run. You know what I mean? And I know Law Dog is coming in here to push back on me about the whole this whole ordeal too. I know that's what Law Dog is coming in here to do. As soon as Law Dog pop up, I know that's exactly what he's coming here to do. Chubby, you tripping, but that's what all I'm saying is 5 is good. I like what they're doing. I didn't say I didn't like what they was putting together this year. I didn't say that. I like what they're putting together. I just want to give it some time. I said 5 this year. Now after next year, okay, then my expectations will move up into the 8-9 win margin. But nah, like I'm not going to jump out the window and say that Brennan Marion being
no, and Chubby, that prediction. No, for me, that the prediction I gave you is if I say what happens with Dion, where he lets the coordinators do what they are supposed to. But if he actually wants to micromanage everything and doesn't change, I see 7-5 like you and stuff like that.
All right. You to put in some context. All right, okay. I got what you're saying, Anthony. So yeah, because that's pretty much where I'm at. Like that can't happen. And I don't know what you missed, Motivated Dedicated, but that's what I'm on. Like I don't know how long you've been around. Like the dude, Brennan Marion, he was the head coach at Sacramento State, right? We know that, and they are in one of the toughest divisions. Like I said, I did show that the Big Sky, they ain't no pushover. Neither is the Big 12.
And you forgot his history too, Chubby. Before he was the head coach at both UNLV and Sac State.
Yeah, he was a running back coach in the NFL, right?
Oh no, not that. Okay. He was part of that coaching staff for the South Dakota, the Jackrabbits.
Okay.
He was on that. He was like a co-offensive coordinator with the head coach Leopold.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
All right. Hey, I didn't even know that, Anthony. Y'all heard what Anthony said. Come in here dropping bombs. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. He was the coach over there. Hey, yo, but look, I don't see how they just gonna put this together overnight. I mean, look, bro, it's just for
You
me.
need the right talent to run that offense, and like I said, I don't know if Juju's the right type of quarterback.
And Cliff called that. Cliff said that. Cliff said that's one of the first things Cliff said. Cliff said that. Cliff definitely said that. I don't know if Juju can run that offense the way that it needs to be ran.
The quarterback, I think.
So that's just another thing added on to it. We don't know if Juju's the quarterback to run it. We don't.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this: the quarterback that I feel is a perfect guy to run that offense is someone that's on my roster right now that I feel is not going to be able to play right now because we might get Darian Mensa and stuff like that. I can see a guy like Darion Coleman running your offense and stuff like that.
You keep saying y'all. You just making me a Colorado fan, huh, Anthony?
Huh?
You just making me a Colorado fan, ain't you, Anthony?
What?
Huh? Yeah, I said you just making me a Colorado fan, ain't you?
You're a big Darion Coleman fan, aren't you? Because when I look at Darion, he reminds me a little of Trinidad, kind of like how he plays. He reminds me of Trinidad Chambliss a little bit.
I like Trinidad Chambliss. That's a good the time to switch it, right? Segment to go. I like Trinidad Chambliss. And by the way, I'm gonna pull up this draft buzz list.
But I'm saying this. I'm sticking to what I've been saying. At best, I don't see him getting drafted in the first 3 rounds. At best, he's a third day quarterback.
Who? Trinidad Chambliss?
Yeah. There's teams.
Okay, I gotta hear this.
And the reason why.
You good, Anthony?
Yeah. Sorry. Outside of Russell Wilson, the other quarterbacks that height have been limited success. Like Tua's been injury prone, so has Bryce, and Kyler Murray. He's way too inconsistent, and I don't think I like Trinidad, but I think NFL franchises are going to hold it against them based on the previous performance of quarterbacks at height. Because let's be honest, I don't believe Tua's 6'1" like they're saying. That's him and Cleese. I think he's at best 5'9" and stuff like that. And I'm being generous. I'm a Dolphins fan.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, I should have figured that. You know what I'm saying? Miami, you know what I'm saying? I should have figured that. You definitely a Miami fan, so I should have figured that. All this time you've been rocking with me, and I ain't know that you like the Dolphins.
Wait a minute. I've been rocking with you. You've been on 50's channel before too. so don't act like you're surprised.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that you was a Dolphins fan, dog. If I'd have known you was a Dolphins fan, dog, you know what I'm saying? I would at least try to, throw a segment in there for the Dolphins or something. You know what I mean?
I'm done with the Dolphins. This is what I'm doing with the Dolphins to actually enjoy the games where I don't have any emotions into it. I'm paying attention to a quarterback that actually has talent in Justin Herbert.
Okay.
And not
dedicated up here. What up, dog? What up?
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, bro? I ain't heard from you in a while, bro. What's going on with you? Hey,
man, been handling some missions, man. I might be going down to Venezuela here in a few months, man.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they might they might have to send you to Venezuela, really?
Nah, I'm just joking, bro. I'm just joking.
Oh, okay. I ain't know. I was about to say, I was like, we going to Venezuela. Like, I thought that was dope. But look, so they got Trinidad Chambliss right now ranked at number 8, y'all, out of all the quarterbacks. Y'all agree with that on Draft Buzz?
Yes.
I mean, I really can't say anything. He had the game of his life against my Bulldogs, so I really can't say anything.
Yeah, look, I just feel like, dude, I feel like he had a great game.
They're holding his height against him because of
Miami.
And the reason why I think the reason why he's so low is NFL franchises are holding against him because outside of Russell, what other quarterbacks at height have been successful in the league.
Drew
Like,
Brees.
well,
Yeah.
yeah,
He's faster than Drew
those
Brees.
those two guys are outliers, but the rest of the guys at height are barely successful. Tua's constantly injured, so is Bryce Young, and like I said, Kyler is way too inconsistent and stuff like that.
I mean,
So
Bryce Young. I mean, he did win the Heisman. He's the #1 pick, and he did take his team to the playoffs in his second year. So I gotta give him his
but
props.
the injuries are concerning for both him and Tua, to be honest, because of and I think that's what's hurting a guy like if Trinidad was a little bit taller.
I really can't. I discredit Bryce Young's first year because of his head coach.
Right.
Joe Brady.
Yeah. I think Trinidad has to go to the right situation and actually sit for a year. What's going on now, and I think trucking, we really didn't touch on it too much, is a lot of these owners, GMs, scouts, even though they may draft a quarterback, they're not going to keep thrusting these young men right into the starting lineup and giving them the keys to the franchise.
There you go. That part, Cliff. They're not. They're not.
Cliff,
They're
I have a question for both of you. Do you guys actually believe that Trinidad is 6'1"?
No,
I don't think nobody's the true height that's listed. I think I give him maybe he's 5'11", 6 foot. You know what I'm saying? I believe
that's being generous. I think he's at best 5'9".
The thing I like about Trinidad Chambliss, and I will say this, is that he's been a backup, right? He's been a backup to Austin Simmons this year. He wasn't even supposed to be the starting quarterback. So he worked his way into being the starting quarterback. So that, to me, if I'm a NFL GM or a NFL scout, I'm looking at Trinidad Chambliss because I think this guy is going to do the work to prepare himself for the league. That's what makes his value to me go up over anybody else, because mostly everybody else that's ranked above him has been handed the keys to their position.
Not
right?
Carson Beck. Not
Right.
Carson wasn't handed the keys to the kingdom at Georgia.
No, I mean, he wasn't.
He's talking about in the NFL.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about going to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What guys are actually going to put in that work? Trinidad Chambliss showed that obviously he worked into being a starter at Ole Miss. So, and then if I'm looking at that from being at NFL and from the NFL's perspective, I'm looking at that because they're not developing guys no more at the NFL. It's over. You have to develop yourself. You have to put the work in yourself. You have everything. You got to do that yourself, right? You got to hire whoever you need to hire.
I'm gonna say this, Chuck.
He's going to do that.
NFL coaches are not there to develop.
No,
they're just
not.
They're there to improve what you already know.
Right. No, and that's why we were talking about college coaches failing and being exposed, because these guys are not. A lot of these guys aren't ready. A lot of these guys are not ready. They just got pure talent, and they just are football players that can throw a football, or a running back that can throw the football or whatever, and that's it. Don't know how to read post snap reads. They're struggling with so much, and these NFL GMs know that now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this. This is why I think Fernando and Carson are gonna be favorites to these GMs, because you see how they read through progressions. Carson has seen multiple defense throughout his career. Mendoza, to a certain extent, yes, but you understand why Carson's experience is gonna push him up the draft boards because of the amount of snaps and games he's played throughout college and stuff like that.
I just want to let it be known, I've been a Carson fan since day one. A lot of these Miami people were talking trash about Carson.
Not me.
Georgia.
I'm a Miami fan. I like that we got Carson.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, listen to what I'm saying. A lot of these Miami fans, they're gonna have their pom-poms in their hands Monday nights cheering for Carson. But when Carson was a Bulldog, they had a lot of trash to say when he was throwing picks. You know what I'm saying?
Your Georgia fans were like that too.
A lot of tweets out there. there's a lot of tweets, there's a lot of people on social media downgrading Carson and talking trash about him when his receiver core led the nation in drops, but he still won 11 games.
And people will forget, didn't he get an arm injury also?
Yeah, he had the arm injury, and that pretty much ended his season. But before his arm injury, he was like, 24 and 3 as a starter, 26 and 3 as a starter. I mean, he put in the work at Georgia.
The crazy. I think they show the graphic on the semifinal. I think it was like 35-4 with a 15-3, like 35-6 or something like that, with a 15-3 record against ranked teams.
A lot of people didn't watch. They turned the TV off.
Yeah.
Georgia played TCU in the national championship. Carson has already played in the national championship. Played a quarter and a half in the national championship.
And people act like you're a Georgia fan. You're a Georgia fan. People act like he hasn't had big lead, like where his opponent has been up by a lot of points. And I brought up the Alabama game. Like, was that during a SEC championship, or was that during a regular season?
It was when we went to Tuscaloosa 2 years ago. We were down 30-0.
Mm-hmm.
And he led a comeback. He came back. I mean, he did throw a couple interceptions that game, but yeah, he allowed us to come back, and we actually took the lead.
Yeah, I do remember that game. I do.
Yeah,
I do remember that game. That was an epic game, and I think, look, I don't disagree with what y'all saying about Carson Beck and Fernando Mendoza, but I'm looking at this from, trying to look at this from the NFL and what they're saying in these quarterbacks. The thing I look about at them quarterbacks is that they're patient. They're patient. They kind of they let the game come to them. They're not like forcing the issue with things. You know what I mean? Like, they just let the game come to them.
Trinidad is not patient, though.
Who?
Trinidad. I've seen games this year where Trinidad.
I didn't say Trinidad, Anthony. You're not listening. I didn't say Trinidad. I said Fernando Mendoza and Carson Beck. Yeah. I didn't say anything about Trinidad. Not yet. Anyway, well, previously I did, but just now I was talking about Fernando Mendoza and Carson Beck.
Well, if Anthony wants to go to Trinidad, and I don't know how old Anthony is, Trinidad reminds me of someone a lot of people didn't see.
I'm 35.
Oh, okay. He reminds me of Doug Flutie.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And the reason why I say that is, people don't understand Doug's career with him being short, but with his athleticism and his arm strength.
Didn't he have to go to the USFL and the CFL first?
No, he was drafted by the Bears. Ditka actually played him over Mike Tomczak, which made us lose to Washington to go to the Super Bowl. They still are furious about that. Height was a big issue for him, so he was out of the league and went to the CFL and ruled the CFL for a long time. When he came back, he was great at San Diego. He was great at Buffalo. Buffalo, they played politics.
Yeah, because didn't they draft Jim Kelly?
No, that was when they had Rob Johnson. That was the year of the Music City Miracle. Doug Flutie won them 8 straight games going into the playoffs, and the owner said, "We're paying Rob Johnson all this money. He needs to start."
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But one thing I want to make 2 points. Trinidad, like I said, will be okay if he goes to the correct system. Okay. But if we pay attention, the NFL has already let us know what they think about the quarterbacks coming out of college. Anytime a team goes and gets a 45-year-old man off the couch.
Yeah, you're right about that.
To finish the season, tells you that these young kids that are coming from college need this maturation process. They need to sit. Just throwing them out there and learning on the fly is not working.
Yeah,
and you're and 9 times out of 10 you're ruining because okay, the first pick we know as a quarterback, he's going to a horrible team.
Mhm.
So guess what's going to be horrible? One of the most important things he needs, offensive line.
Yes.
And even if he has an offensive line, he may not have no weapons.
He has a running back in Genty when he goes there, but that's it.
Yeah,
And Brock
but
Bowers.
A running back can only do so much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't have protection on the edges, then you pretty much done, man. I mean, it's good that you can.
Is that what hurt Jamarcus Russell too? Like that, the incompetence of that franchise not building an offensive line, or Jamarcus was just irresponsible?
I don't know. I don't want to go there. I kind of want to stay where we at in the realm where we at. You know what I'm saying? Rewind it back a little bit. I kind of want to stay in the realm where we at. You know what I'm saying? Because like where he getting at is like Fernando Mendoza. If he's struggling with under pressure now, going to the Raiders, it's not going to make it any better. They ain't got no offensive line.
It'll make it worse.
It's gonna make it worse. It's gonna make his gameplay look even worse. I mean, Brady is an ex quarterback, and I know and they might go and get their guy. Now, another thing is like, how do y'all feel about this, y'all? Like, how do y'all feel about grabbing a quarterback with your first round pick and not starting him right away? Do you think that's a wasted pick? Or do you think you're just getting your guy and just having him ready? I mean, where do y'all at with that?
No, I don't think so. Oh, go ahead, Mo. Yeah, I'm agree with Motivator. I don't think so. It was done in the past.
Actually, no, I disagree. I disagree with the mentality of sports fans now. That I don't think sitting a first overall pick makes logical sense. He's going to have to start right away.
Well, it's culture. It's culture.
Right, Anthony. That's the problem. You have to put in earplugs and not listen to the fan base and let them dictate.
And social media.
Right, because a lot of these fans are video game fanatics, and they really don't know this game. They just want to see their favorite player.
Right.
They're not. They have nothing about improvement, getting better, actually learning the game at the next level, because it's totally different from college.
Yeah, no, but I thought there's two line of thinking of when it comes to developing a quarterback. There's what you're talking about, seeing them for one season, but there's also throwing them into the fire and letting them take their lumps. I'm going to use a perfect example, like a Peyton Manning. He started as, I know Payne's a outlier with the elite talent he was coming out of college, but I'm throwing him into the fire and having him take his lumps.
You could ruin their career after.
Yes, everybody. Yeah, go ahead, finish Motivated. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying, Truckin, when you just throw them in and they get all these expectations and all the fans behind them, and they getting all these clicks and views and all these people, in the stands with their jersey, and this is, the new wave and the new hope, and everybody got these this new outlook on the team. You could easily ruin their career. Look at Anthony Richardson. You could easily ruin their career.
To a certain extent, Andrew Luck, because Andrew didn't have an offensive line. He retired. He even said out of his own mouth, the reason why he retired is because he was so beat up mentally, because he was constantly getting hit and stuff like that, because he had no offensive line. And people called him a crook. And do you guys agree with calling a quarterback a quitter because he was mentally beat up by the time they built the offensive line?
But see, that's what happens when you start them off early, Anthony. Yeah. If you take your time and build the right and put the guys around your guy and get your guy early, just because you're getting them, I do think that some of these guys are worth a first round pick. But if you want to get your guy, because at this point it's like playing chess, right? I gotta make a move so nobody else gets my guy. If you believe in them, where to go that on this? You know what I'm saying? His team is the Green Bay Packers. They're the perfect example. I don't think we see Jordan Love where Jordan Love's at right now. Had they took Jordan Love and threw him in the fire at Green Bay, he looks complete. He's a completely different player right now at this point, if you ask me. But they took their time. They got their guy in the first round with the 10th pick, if I'm not mistaken. I
But
remember
Green
like
Bay, that's the difference. Green Bay. What you're bringing up is the Green Bay fans are patient. Most fans are. Most fan bases are not, and
well, see,
stuff like that.
but it's not even about your fans. It's about building your team up. You know what I'm saying? It's about building your team, and I think these GMs are starting to see that now because these young guys that's coming in. Like, look, I like what Cam Ward did. I like what Cam Ward's going and what he can be. But looking back at what the Titans needed, they didn't need to go get him like right then and there. They didn't need to put him on the field right then and there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't need to put him on the field this year. They knew they was going to be bad. He needed more time. He's not
So
a
you think,
game changer.
in your honest opinion, you guys think the Raiders need a team like the Raiders need to trade down and build stuff and then wait till 27?
Trade down, get rid of Crosby, trade down, get you some linemen first, and then get you a decent quarterback in the second or third round. Let Geno groom him, and then when Geno, gets maybe 10 games to the season, then you can throw the new guy in there.
See,
yeah.
I ain't even saying that. I'm saying if they believe in Fernando Mendoza, go ahead and grab him with the pick. But I mean, like, at that point though, like I do feel where you coming from with that because you got the first overall pick, so you can get the best talent, right? So if I
like Fernando, but he's not like
with this year's draft. If I can miss on Fernando, yeah, I could rock with that.
Yeah, I would rather. This is what I would rather do because you just brought up Max Crosby. Someone just brought up Max Crosby. They're losing him. Draft a guy like Ruben Bain at number 1 to replace Max. I like Fernando, but he's not. I like Fernando because I followed the kid through out high school, but he's not a first overall pick at quarterback. He's not that generational type talent at quarterback. He's a great quarterback. This is just these quarterbacks are getting pushed up because some of these teams are desperate for a quarterback, and that's not a right way to draft.
That's all we saying because they're not developing quarterbacks. These teams are not these college coaches are not developing the quarterback position. They are neglecting to develop their guys. They really are. And
do you think that also has to do with these kids having their own? The development issue also has to do with these kids having private quarterbacks coaches that they're listening to, and they're not listening to the coaches.
Great. You know what? Great point. That's another point we're missing. I've told people this. With this 7-on-7, usually 7-on-7 was with your high school team or whatever age. It was with the team that you were playing with.
Mm-hmm.
Now 7-on-7 is so independent.
It's AAU ball. It's pretty much
right. So your coach that's been teaching you, let's just say for 5 years, and you start you're in 7-on-7. You got a different coach, and he's telling you something different. Mm-hmm. Or you start developing bad habits. All the sidearm throws, all the off 1 foot in the air throws.
Mm-hmm.
It's the mechanics, like Truckin said earlier. If you look at the mechanics, we have to wonder why quarterbacks sail passes. Why did you throw that?
I just hate that they get like 7 seconds to throw the ball, 5 seconds to throw the ball. I hate
that too. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and also there's another thing. When it comes to development, there's another thing people are forgetting too. Is also some of these kids are copying what you see with a Patrick Mahomes too. Some of these kids' idol is Patrick Mahomes, and they're trying to be Patrick instead of trying to build their own mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you guys agree?
Look, I'm not. I don't disagree with what you're saying, Anthony. I look at it like this.
And also,
these guys are not.
Let's not forget, some of these kids are playing other sports, and they're not playing football their whole lot. Like
that has nothing. I think that
there was
other sports helps.
Dylan Raiola even said he played baseball.
Yeah.
He was playing baseball most of the time.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes, he even said he didn't play football until his senior year of high school, and I think that's what's hurting the development of some of these quarterbacks too. Trucking coming into college, that they're playing baseball and they're playing shortstop or outfield, and they don't have time to focus on developing as a quarterback.
Nah, so I disagree with that because coaches like an athlete that can play multiple sports. You like that. If you a coach, you like that, right? Because it
Hello,
makes you.
anybody there?
What's going on? Can y'all hear me or not? What's going on with my mic?
I got you loud and clear over here.
All right. So
Trucking, I don't hear trucking at all.
So what I was saying is that
Did he mute himself?
I don't know if I muted myself, and I don't know what's up with Law's mic. I can't hear him, but I don't disagree.
We don't hear you, Trucking. We don't hear you. You're muted.
Why can't they hear me on my mic? What's going on? What's going on with my mic, bro?
I can hear you, bro.
No, I'm telling Trucking we can't hear him.
I can hear Trucking.
Yeah, why can't y'all hear me? What's going on? Can y'all hear me? Everybody
I can't hear him at all.
Can somebody hear me? Can y'all hear me out there?
Hey, Trucking, I can hear you, man.
All right. So Anthony can't hear me.
Anthony probably hit the mute button.
Well, whatever. All right. So, Amanda said they can hear me out there. I don't know why he can't. So, I hear what he's saying and where he coming from with that. And I done lost my damn point because I'm trying to get my damn my mic right and all that. But they are. I disagree with what he was saying because coaches like a athlete that can play multiple sports. You like that, and especially somebody who can pitch and they can play football because that helps with their mechanics. A lot of the pitching mechanics is the same thing with throwing the ball. Throwing the ball them at the right angle, your elbow up. You know what I'm saying? Those are mechanics for throwing the ball. So in baseball, it's almost the same mechanic. They show you that. You know what I mean? Even when you warming up, and even some guys train with footballs, throwing footballs to pitchers in baseball. So I'm not even tripping on the multiple sport thing. I think guys are going above and beyond of what their talent is allowing them to do. Everybody wants to be a hero. Nobody just wants to be a true quarterback. And being a true quarterback, all is asking for you to do and calling for you to do is manage the offense. Manage the offense. Be the boss of the offense. Know your guys. Build a relationship with your guys. Like if you're a boss and you have people underneath you, you got to build relationships with your workers. You have to know your workers. You got to know which ones, who's going to work on a Saturday, who don't mind that, who's going to put in that extra work, who's the one you got to pat on the back. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is, and all I'm trying to, flip that to is know where your guys are supposed to be on every single play. Know how to slide protections. Know those little things. Once you know those things, then your athletic ability will take over and put you into an elite conversation because it's levels to that. It's levels. Just manage the offense. That's all they have to do. That's all any coach literally wants their quarterback to do is manage the offense. Put the ball in the running back's belly right here. Learn where you know what I'm saying? Know where your receivers at. Don't turn the ball over. But everybody, they just want to go above and beyond that. They want to be Superman. They want to look like Cam Newton or Michael Vick on the field or Patrick Mahomes, whatever. They want to do all this fancy other stuff, you know what I mean? And then we go back, and that was a great point what Anthony said. The mechanics they're being taught by a side coach is not what their head coach wants them to learn. If you're going to go into 7-on-7 tournaments, go in with your team. Don't go into what's up?
Hey, what's up, Chevy? Hey, so you saying that because of what though? Like that's not. I ain't really following the Like I'm hearing your point, but why are you saying that?
Saying what?
As far as like what quarterback's trying to be Superman and that, like what's the gist of it?
They're I think that these quarterbacks are coming out and they're underdeveloped. Like they're not developing quarterbacks at the college level, and I think GMs are starting to see that now.
But don't you think that's because of the change of who's the quarterback and what the game is today?
Like how you like what you mean by who the quarterback and what
Okay,
the game
like
is?
back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Hold on.
Like, yeah.
I think you're trying to say, like, if you look at the offenses in college, they don't
Mm-hmm.
translate to the offenses in the pros. So
Mm.
you really can't hold that over these quarterbacks' heads because they haven't been exposed to pro level type offenses. They used to fun and gun 5 wide. You don't have no snap count. You just walk up to the line of scrimmage and clap. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Right. And that might and that's a problem too. There ain't no under center plays, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's all ill. If you're a quarterback coach, I think that's being ill advised there because look, and then I'm gonna go into saying like pre-snap reading the defense and post-snap reading the defense, right?
Right.
Understanding where they're at and how they're doing, like, and where they're supposed to be, like that translates to any time. Knowing where the defense at and what the defense is in, what they're giving you on that plate, that translates to anytime, man. And they're giving it, and almost every offense is giving you a bailout. They're almost every single offense now in the NFL, or that even in college, they're giving you a bailout. You got the underneath man. You always got your running back, or you got your tight end. If you don't know, if you cannot read it. You can't read downfield. You know what I mean? You missed a downfield read. You always got a bailout right there. And they just don't understand these concepts. They don't. And you can tell that these guys don't understand it because it's so simple.
Then to add on kind of to what AR said, I'm saying that because you got to think about it, bro. Back like the quarterback you speak of sound like the molds of the Phillip Rivers, the Tom Brady's, the Drew Brees of the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm saying is the game has changed because, like, let's say less than 20 years ago,
Man, Law,
when
you went out, man. I don't know what's up with our mics, man. You went out on me, Law.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, bro.
I was saying that when you think about it, the mode of the quarterback has changed, bro, because the guys you talking about is like a Phillip Rivers, a Drew Brees, or like a Drew Bledsoe, and guys like that, right? But the game, if you go back 20 years, being a run, having a running ability in your game was considered like almost like a negative type shit.
Uh-huh.
Like he wasn't gonna sit back there and just release the ball and find his guys. Now mobile is an attribute to your name where you can be mobile and make plays outside the pocket and make off kilter and off script plays. You know what I mean? They looking for that now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you got to look at the game now. You got Todd Simpson. Look at Todd Simpson. Todd Simpson has 12 starts in college football. He's projected to go number 1. Who fault is that? You can't say it's his fault if you're giving him projection for going number 1. So of course it's gonna be quarterbacks that come in or you look at motherfucking Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, he didn't throw a touchdown his first 4 games of the season. He still went first round, 3rd pick.
Crazy.
So what I'm saying is the game has changed. So I mean, your point is valid, but I just like
okay.
You might have to move. Your analyzation might have to move with the game because that's what it's the move there. You see what I'm saying? Like it's no longer where you see quarterbacks the immobile. Like if you're an immobile quarterback, you kind of like you get moved down a couple slots. It's like you can't get out of trouble. You can't get out of harm's way. You feel me? You can't make plays off scripts.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying about like the Drew Allers or like even like a Carson Beck. That's a knock on him. He's not as mobile as you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like the game has changed. So I get what you're saying though, like, but they want that now. You see what I'm saying?
And they do want that. And
the black quarterback, and then I just want to say to close it out, the black quarterback is in, bro. If you look around the league, bro, the black quarterback is the guy now.
He is, but I think they shine off of that. I mean, they showed well, I mean, look how they did our boy Shador. We all
But Shador is not. Come on, hold on. See Shador. See this is like what I want to say about Shador, bro. the Shador noise is really not that loud, bro. It's only loud because we in the community, bro. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, I
Niggas,
feel that,
niggas,
but
niggas, niggas, right. So niggas not really necessarily studying Shador, and you got to understand this, bro. At the end of the day, Shador is the son of a great, bro. These niggas is never good. They're good anyway. So we could put a pause on him. Maybe he's the outlier, but give me some more.
all right.
Take Shador out of it and give me name another guy they did like that and put him in that mode. Nobody.
I think that they're gonna start. I think that was last year, what we seen last year, and what these guys have been producing on the field so far. They're starting to see this to come to the light, and they're going to start shining away. We're
Shine
already
away from
hearing
what?
from drafting these guys, from putting so much stock into these guys early on and putting them on and starting them early on because of their under development. Like, yeah, they're looking at their athletic ability, but I don't think they're going to hit the field
But he didn't get drafted because of his athletic ability, though.
Yeah, I mean they probably will be, but I don't think they're going to start right away like an Anthony Richardson did anymore. I don't think we're going to start seeing these guys that's getting drafted, even if they do come out second round, early second round, first round, late first round as a quarterback. I don't think that they're going to be starting them right away like how they did Anthony Richardson, because I think, like you said, Anthony Richardson, look, we seen Justin Fields come out, Anthony Richardson come out, two black mobile quarterbacks. The black quarterbacks are in, but they don't know.
But
for the NFL.
Yeah, but for every Richardson, you got Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, and Jordan Love sat a little bit. Like, come on, so that's just.
Mm-hmm. And it just ain't them though, neither. Law. I mean, your mic went mute again. Law. Unmute. Why you mute again? On Cliff, you there, Cliff?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Law, you mute. Why your mic keep doing that on me, man? He was cooking too, bro. And I feel where he coming from with that. He's saying like I might need to move it a little bit and up today, but these quarterbacks, and I have to go back to college because yes, these NFL teams do look at size and speed, and then they say, yeah, but I also think that they're like, look, he could run his ass off, but he can't read a defense and he can't throw for shit. I'm not about to use a first round pick on him.
See, this is the thing, and we got to understand this. And I think this person is a great example, and I'm not trying to shit on him. Jalen Hurts, proven winner, mobile, has a pretty good arm. Whatever the problem is behind the scenes, we don't know. In Philly, they've dumbed down the offense. Now, one thing I can say is this: he's had 4 offensive coordinators in 4 years, which doesn't help.
No, it don't.
I think that's another problem in the league as far as getting these quarterbacks steady is the job changes. Mm-hmm. You got, especially when you have a young kid as a Anthony Richardson or something like that. You can't change coordinators year after year after year after year. Mm-hmm. And I don't know now what's going on with these organizations to where is, okay, if we're not putting up so many points, it's the offensive coordinator. You know, and that's who we're getting rid of.
These guys are not. Yeah, you're right.
You know, so it's like, okay, I'm a quarterback. Just say you trucking, you coming out. You the top rated quarterback in college. Let's just say you go somewhere like New Orleans. They got a steady coach. Okay, the offensive coordinator, they coming out off a couple of great seasons. Offensive coordinator, a hot name. He moves on. You bring in somebody else. He comes in. The offense don't look like what it should. It's not moving the ball. Woo, 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 woo. Possibly after 1 year, he's gone. So now you got another offensive coordinator. Where is your learning process of being in a system going to really come from?
Mm-hmm. Where's the stability at with that?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, you in your second year, you learn another new offense, new verbiage and everything. Just imagine if that just keep happening to you year after year.
That's
You on year 4, your 4th year, you coming in, you sitting up there like, dang, I got to learn new verbiage again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a new offense. Some of it may have some of the same nuances, but it's new verbiage. It's new this and that.
Oh yeah, and Law said name a guy, right? Name a guy who was like that. They did like that. Jalen Milroe. The Seahawks played that perfectly. They're showing us now because he got first talent. He got first round speed, hands down. Does he not?
Yeah, and
Hands down.
more than likely they're going to be stable with the head coach and the offensive coordinator.
And they played that so perfectly.
Yes, and Sam Darnold is the bridge.
So perfectly. He's waiting. They're waiting to get him on the field the right way. And they're going to start doing that with these quarterbacks because he clearly had flaws, but it's a lot of these quarterbacks. And that's all I'm saying is that at the college level, they should be prepared more. They should know a lot more, or they should be, a lot of these kinks should be worked out at the college level.
Yes.
It definitely should be. You know what I mean? Before they even get to the league. But Seattle played it perfect. They showed us exactly what the NFL wants to do. I'm going to get me a veteran, even if you got to get a bridge. If I got to get a bridge quarterback, shit, we did it. The Steelers. I mean, look, Will Howard won the national championship.
Yeah.
We're going to win the 6th round.
Yeah.
Us. You know what I'm saying?
And when I say dumb down, people have to understand this. This is how they've dumbed it down. You have more passes thrown either right at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage than you've ever had in NFL history.
Crazy.
People can't say, well, that's the game now. No, it's not that. That's the safest way because a lot of these kids, like you said, they can't read, they can't make the read that the defense is in. They can't decipher really where and process quick enough where to go with the ball. Or like Caleb, who still does it, hold on to the ball too long.
Mm-hmm. That's
the art sometimes of throwing your receiver open in the NFL has been lost a little bit.
It has. I mean, it just has. I mean, look, it look. Share and I see where Law going with it too, though. Like, and you ain't lying. Like, you ain't lying, Cliff. You on point with it. Like, and I see where they going with this whole. How should I say this? I think where they going with this whole development thing is like they're noticing it, and where you was on point with it, Cliff. I don't even know why I cut you out because you was cooking, bro. You was cooking, bro. You right on point with it, bro. Like I can't even say nothing against that because the game is what it is, but these quarterbacks are not ready, bro. They are not ready for the league, and it is a shame, bro. It's a shame. It really is. It really is a shame.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because now you have to draft, you have to be smarter and draft a quarterback that you can trust who is going to develop himself, that is going to be ready to learn and knows the hunger. And that's why my stock in Trinidad Trambliss jumped up because he worked to get a starting spot in college. And I can trust him to develop because that's exactly what he did. He beat somebody out. That was, I mean, Austin Simmons. That's all you heard off season in SEC. Austin Simmons. You know what I'm saying? And Lane Kiffin's offense. And then where Trinidad Chambliss come from? Out of nowhere, took it over. Looked way better in the offense. Way better. He knew the read. He knew reads and everything. Like, because he was prepared for things that Austin Simmons clearly wasn't. And I'm not going to give the credit to Lane on that. I think it had a lot to do with him, and I think Charlie Weiss may have something to do with that. I think he's a great offensive mind on what he do and way he draw up plays. But they have to start developing these guys. Like, what's the point of a quarterback coach if he's not doing that job? Like, These guys are coming in, and it's just a shame, man. You just see it all over, man. Like, when have we ever seen an NFL season, yo? And NFL games, multiple NFL games ever. I don't think I ever seen this. Not even in the era where the running backs ran the ball. Terrell Davis, early LaDainian Tomlinson, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You feel where I'm going? Yeah. And listen, bro, they throwing for 100 yards. These dudes is getting 26, 27, 30 attempts, and they throwing for barely 100 yards.
Yes.
Barely.
See, that's what I'm saying. The game, yes, and it's another thing which they brought up earlier this year. A lot of people, a lot of these, main media, then a lot of people with these sports channels too brought this up, including, I give the little white man some credit. JB is they look back and not too long ago, I think maybe 7 years ago. Maybe 10, maybe. It was 6, 7, 8 quarterbacks that passed for 4,000 yards. Now you got one, which was Matthew Stafford. I mean, people are close, but they need the playoff games to actually get to it, and it's still not as many.
Crazy, man. Which is crazy because now you got me ready to look it up because now you got me ready to look up the leaders.
Look that up, Chubby. And it's all about pushing the ball down the field. It's not all about this extended handoff crap.
There you go. So there you go. Matthew Stafford was number 1, like you said. Jared Goff was number 2. Dak Prescott was number 3. This is the regular season stats, by the way.
Right.
Drake May, number 4. Rookie, by the way. Setting, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's early on, but he got it down packed. And he got a 72 completion percentage, which is crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
It's crazy. He came that's who the guy I want, bruh. That's the, you know what I'm saying? Sam Darnold. He's on his 4,000. Caleb Williams he almost hit 4,000. Caleb did. Bo Nix almost hit 4,000, but they're only averaging like 6 yards, almost 7 yards per throw. So I get where you're going with that in the offense, right? That's a bunch of dinking and dunking what they're doing in that offense, right? Drake May dinking and dunking. He's almost averaging 9 yards per throw. He definitely throwing the ball right. You know what I'm saying? Herbert's up there, but look, he's up there pretty decent. Got 13 interceptions. They got a high interception rate, I guess. No, Drake May cooking. He only got 8 interceptions, 31 touchdowns, and he's hands down. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro.
But this is my thing. With even some of the great quarterbacks that we've seen over the past, I'll say 30 years, the ones that before this short game has come along, pushing down the field, we lived with a quarterback 8 to 12 interceptions. You know, when you were young, when they came in young, I'll take Peyton Manning for an example. When he started and took over, people don't understand. He threw 18 interceptions. 18 of them, trucking.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But it comes from pushing the ball down the field, throwing deep digs, post routes, corner posts, deep comebacks. You know what I'm saying? Deep crossing routes. Slants, but slants even were a little bit further. Not all this quick receiver screen, everybody, and it's college. I watched one game this year. I don't know if it was Texas Tech. I think it was BYU. On one drive, they threw 6 wide receiver screens. And the reason why is because, the defense didn't figure they would keep doing it. But they said, we're successful. We're going to keep doing it.
Right. It's just wild, man. That's all. They got a man. I'm trying to find one of these young quarterbacks that, you know, that wasn't dinking and dunking. I'm trying to
Our
find
boy
one
talking about now.
because yeah, you good, you good, you
Chubby, I
good.
be putting my Chubby, you can hear me? Yeah, I be putting my shit on mute, Chubby. You know I'm moving the groove.
Okay.
But what what that nigga Cliff talking about? He ain't talking about nothing. Cliff.
Yeah, you my brother crazy boy. You working, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
Trying to
sir.
get out this
So
motherfucker. I had talked that nigga Coach Hayes had called me probably about 20 minutes ago while I was on here type shit. That's why I was gone, Chubby. We talked about 45 minutes real quick. Type
okay.
shit. Just on some humbug type shit.
Law, I've been thinking, and I want to ask you this question since you played tackle.
Yeah.
Okay, say you got the end, and you know the blitz is coming from your side. Okay, the
Yeah.
outside man.
Uh-huh.
A tackle's responsibility. Who do you take in that situation?
The farthest guy is probably the quarterback guy, depending on the scheme. So this how you count. This how they pose. This how they typically count it, Cliff.
Uh-huh.
So you know when a center identify the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like the start of the count. So he may be 0 type shit. So it's 0, and then from left to right is 1, 2, 3. So
Okay.
we're gonna identify 5, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're gonna be responsible for. So if it's a 4-3, we'll identify for the 4, and whoever the center identifies the mic or the one
Okay.
closest to the ball, because it may switch depending on if somebody walk up in the gap. Then it's 5 for 5. So it's basically most dangerous type shit.
Oh, okay.
So now, if it's a scheme, like a different type of blocking scheme, it may be the left side. Say the protection may be called like Celtic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Celtic is got an L in it, so Celtic. So that means slide left, and then it'd be man on the backside. So that means the left tackle got from him to the sideline. Anybody in between that. So if a nigga come off the sideline, you got the nigga that come off the sideline, right?
Okay.
The
Right.
guard got the B gap, and the center got the A gap. On the backside is man. So if it's so on the backside is man, so you got man down. So you basically, if there's nobody in front of that guard, he working to most dangerous immediately. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? He's setting back again, even working the most dangerous.
Right.
Then you got a 6-man protection where the running back is involved in the protection. So we still identify 5, and then he got anything that come from depth type shit. So that's like a blitzer type shit.
Okay.
If not, he get out type shit.
Okay.
So it's all schemed in for the most part. And then if anything come off the edge per what you talking about, depending on where we running, that's the quarterback man. So he got to throw hot off that. He got to know to throw hot off that type shit. That's why you see when the quarterback get hit clean and it look like it's somebody's fault. If the tackle ain't spinning and looking crazy with it, like his head goddamn just got chopped off.
Right.
Then the quarterback was supposed to be hot type shit. He just missed that shit.
Okay. All right.
Type shit.
Yeah.
So you'll see shit like that.
I see. They don't know how to do that though. They don't know how to call a Celtic.
Yeah, and then on I think it's Celtic. What we call that shit? Celtic, and then the other one was called what the other one was called? I think it was called, I don't know, maybe Atlanta or some shit. I don't know, some shit like that. Like
Okay.
Atlanta, Celtic, or it's always like some right and left. Nigga, it may be Ricky, or
Arkansas.
Lake.
It could be Arkansas, Atlanta.
Yeah, shit like that.
Okay.
It all to be within a scheme of certain shit. So you might have Boston or some shit, or like screens. Like if you got screen game, it may be Oklahoma, and then that's to the left, and to the right it may be like Chevy said, Arkansas or some shit, or Oakland or some shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shit like that.
Got you. See that, and I see that's what they don't understand. That linemen understand that more than the motherfucking quarterback do. Crazy work. That's wild. That is wild, bro. That's cool, man. I ain't tripping, man. Y'all know what I'm saying. Look, I'm about to get up on my out of here, man. Y'all know how it is, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all should have came through earlier, man. Everybody want to come through all late, but bottom line is and look, Law Dog gave y'all some game too. So I hope y'all wrote that down and took notes on that, right? Because he gave y'all some game, some valuable game. You know, you did. He ain't have to do that, you know what I'm saying? But he did. So y'all give it up for Law Dog for that. You did. Thank you, Cliff, for coming through too, bro. As always. would have liked to see a couple more people come through, but hey, that we just all in hitting that button. I got to get used to hitting that live button. You know what I'm saying? I might
Yes,
see a
sir.
little bit more of me. I got fired. So I might see a little bit more of me. So start donating. Hit the cash app. Hit the cash app. Hit the cash app. The cash app
That's
is
right.
Bro, I gotta call you, bro, when we get off this live. So, bro, call me. I gotta call you, bro. I'm gonna
Yes,
call
sir.
you, bro.
Hey, come holler at Trucking, hit the cash app, help build this channel. Let's get it going.
Yeah, it's Trucking Chubby. Y'all see me up on there, man. You know what I'm saying? Your boy got fired, man.
Especially when my brother Law come on up here. Cause he can spit that fire too. So hey, y'all make sure to check us out.
All right. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all know how I always give it up, man. I always tell y'all at the end of every show, no matter how I go, no matter if we on here, cause whatever, pray for yourself, pray for each other, pray for me. I'm always praying for y'all. Peace.
Peace.